Yeah, so, I mean, first thing is if you can't win, don't lose. So we ended up with a tie. Don't know if it was a fair result when you really look at the statistics, but in the end, I don't think we did enough to win the game. It's really challenging in the Big East when that was Marquette's bye week, so we've had 2 games, we've had to travel to Villanova, then we've got to come back, we've had 2 games in 4 days, and this was their bye week, so I'd say they probably looked a wee bit fresher than what we did in the game, but credit to the players. When we conceded, we went straight back and scored again. We never gave up. We worked really hard all the way to the end of the game, and respectfully, if our finishing had been better, we would have won today. That's the tiny little difference between teams that win championships and teams that fall short. Is you've just got to have a little bit more of an edge, a little bit more ruthlessness in the final third, and if we'd have done that today, I think we come away with a 2-1. But like I say, if you can't win, don't lose. So it's a point at home, particularly when we've not had we've had 2 games in 4 days. So we'll take it and on to the next one.
All right, questions?
Well, how do you feel about the performance? Just given, obviously, coming off of a win, but you had to travel back from the East Coast, so your rest time, recovery time bleeds into your prep time. How did you feel about 90 minutes today, given those circumstances?
I think the game plan was pretty similar going in, so preparation-wise, it was about the same between the 2 teams. So I think, yes, it was a quick turnaround, but I felt like we were prepared mentally and we knew our tactics going into the game. And so, yes, quick turnaround, recovery, but coach gave us opportunities. He gave us lots of time to get in and recover to the best of our ability. So, I mean, given with what we got, I mean, I was proud of our effort. I just think we need to be more clinical in those moments and show a bit better composure in front of goal, and just make the extra maybe 5 3-yard run and get on the end of balls. I mean, we had opportunities, so it wasn't all for a lack of effort, but we just need more clinical in those moments.
Yeah, after the 23rd minute of the first period, you didn't allow any goals. So can you kind of talk about your team's defensive effort throughout this match?
I think we work on defense a lot. We work on communicating, organizing out the back a lot. So it was a bit disappointing, to give up that first goal. But I think after that, it kind of snapped us into where we needed to be mentally, and it was scrappy. It wasn't always pretty, but I think we bounced back and through our effort, we just wanted to prevent any other goals and opportunities that way. So obviously disappointing to give up the first one, but proud of our effort to keep it to 1.
Coach Walker, after Georgetown, was really disappointed in kind of just where the communication level was at that point in the season. Since you played 180 minutes since then, how have you graded it, in your opinion, in terms of just being focused on that in particular part of the game?
I would say it improved, but like always, there's room for even more communication, more improvement there. We have gotten a couple more players to step up and be a little bit more vocal in clinical moments and in those moments where it is a bit more chaotic, like set pieces and things like that. So I'm proud of the people that have stepped up, but like always, there's always room for improvement. We can be louder, we can always be more organized, talk a little more, talk louder. So yes, there have been improvements, and I think that I just don't know that we're where we need to be yet, but we can keep working on that for sure.
Going into Wednesday's match against Xavier, who has won 7 matches already, I guess kind of what's the mindset going in to that challenge?
Yeah, I think mentally we're all going to have to lock in. We're going to have to approach the game similar to how we did in a non-conference. I think we had a couple really good performances defensively, especially against Duke. We were really organized, so if we can kind of get back into that mindset to where we're going to be organized, we're all going to be locked in together, all really buy into the game plan and stick to what coach says, and if we do the things that they tell us to do and we execute, we can be successful against them. So I think it's just sticking to the game plan, sticking to the tactics. Like I said, up our communication, our organization, and just really buy into coach's game plan and stick with it.
Plus they've got to travel too, so they've got to travel, they've got to come to us. It's always a little bit difficult when you're traveling in this conference with the distance and everything else. So it's nice to be at home again. It'd be nice for the team to be at home for a week now from the game against Villanova. So they'll be sleeping in their own beds, they'll be preparing, they can get their ice baths done, all of that recovery stuff, so we can have ready to go on Wednesday.
They put Villanova through a slasher film today. What's it gonna take to, you talked about how close you are to knocking off the top 25 door to get that elusive win.
Yeah.
Just to even put yourselves in position to put some match pressure on them and make them kind of feel.
Yeah, it's 100% on the day. It's 100% on the day. So we saw Villanova this week. Villanova's a decent team. All right? You'd have told me that would win the score today, and I said no chance. But this is what happens when you have a good team that plays really well on the day, and you have a decent team that doesn't play well on the day. That's what you're going to see happen. We said to the girls today, if Marquette come out and they play really well and we're average, we'll lose the game. If Marquette come out and play well and we're poor, we'll lose the game. If Marquette play well, we play well, it's going to come down to a moment in the game, a set piece, it's going to be very, very tough. That's what every game is going to be like at this level. If Xavier come out and their A game and we don't come out in our A game, we can't expect to win that game. So we're going to have to lock in, we're going to have to be really dialed in, and nothing but our best on Wednesday night is going to be good enough if we expect to get our own win on Wednesday night. Because they're a good team, they're scoring a lot of goals, they're quite ruthless in front of goal, a lot of bite to them, so we're going to have to really defend well going into Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday's game, and then we're going to have to take our chances when we get them. You cannot have 9 shots on goal and score 1 goal. You're not going to win games if you do that. When you look at Xavier today, he scored 9. I bet it was one for every 3 shots, and that's really what you should be doing. If you look at our statistics today, the XG should be 3. So that's where we have to be a little bit more.
Sav, I guess because of what you went through in the non-con and how many top tier NCAA tournament level teams you guys played, do you think that's going to help the group avoid kind of the extracurricular intimidation factor that Xavier might be able to come in with, that you guys can kind of just lean on your experience from this season to focus on what needs to be focused on?
I think we approach it the right way. I think, we really did get up for those games, in the non-conference schedule. So I think, yes, we need to trust our preparation. That's why Coach put together that really tough schedule so that we would be prepared for Big East play. And so it's important for all of us individually to kind of find that space again. I think as a team, we can trust, Coach has prepared us for these moments, and if he didn't think we were capable of playing those games, that he wouldn't have scheduled them. So just knowing that Coach trusts us and that they're all behind us and stuff, that helps. And I think leaning on our experience with those teams will be really helpful, but at the end of the day, it comes down to if we come to play or not. And so just making sure that we're all right mentally kind of for that game is what's going to be most important, I think.
Tell she's a captain with these answers.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I was curious about that.
Anything else?
Yeah, I'll just ask one more thing. Obviously, just a few days ago, you guys earned a huge road win over Villanova. Can you kind of talk about the significance of that win, not only in the Big East standings, but just kind of in the momentum and confidence moving forward to have that win under your belt?
Yeah, well, I'll even backpedal to the Georgetown game. When we played Georgetown 12 months ago, we sat in a low block. We defended for almost 90 minutes. We didn't really generate a lot of offense against them. We kept them to 1 goal. It was a banger from 25 yards. When we played them this year, it was a back and forth game. And anybody watching the first 30 minutes of that game would have gone, Creighton was probably the better team, but it came down to set pieces. And that's the little differences. We're actually playing better against the better teams this year. And we just got to have those more moments of concentration in those games. The Villanova game, our concentration was for 90 minutes. We didn't dial out. We were on the road, we had a chip on the shoulder, and everybody wanted to dig that out for the result today. Or against Villanova. Today we were just okay, we weren't bad. To be fair, we've either been really good this season or we've been bad this season. We've never been mediocre, and today was really the first time we were just average. So I'll take that over bad anyway.